Palmer between 9th and 10th. And it was, what is Willie doing? We know.
I'm shooting a picture of the lovely ladies.
Oh,
behind you.
okay, good. I'm gonna get a couple of calls.
Oh yeah?
Who's that with all that gray hair?
Yeah.
Old guy.
This is Ron and Dick. Yeah, how are you?
You and I can't possibly be the same age.
No. I know, there are a lot of 70-year-olds in here.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
Jerry is too quiet to get your attention. All right, so now, Jerry, take it.
Okay, I want to introduce you to a man who's making a big difference in this school. Assistant principal once told me that to change a school is like turning an aircraft carrier. It doesn't turn very fast, but you can see it when it starts to turn. And it's starting to turn here. This is Dr. Mark Roberts. He's the principal here. This is his second year. He comes, got family here. He comes directly from Colorado, right? California. And he's turned around other schools. But I can assure you from being in the building that things are changing here. And I wanted him to talk to you for, a few minutes about what's going on.
Good morning. It's class, and so we're trying to cut that down.
I think that it's been successful too, hasn't it?
It has been, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
One thing I wanted to show you all is Jerry and I started teaching some of the ninth graders last year, and we'll go to the 600 range where the ninth graders are. And this year, Jerry started last year teaching or tutoring a young man from China. And this year,
we were able to dispel that, but that's the kind of work those persons are doing that nobody sees, that's not coming here to school. So I just want you, it's not like I'm operating with rose-colored glasses here with our kids. It's every day, and when I said I operate with that Iron Fist Velvet Club, it's what we got to do here with some of our kids. But
okay, we're in the new gym that's west of the auditorium and the band room and the choir room. And it was where the tennis courts were when we were students. See, there's the back of the auditorium, and there's the band room windows, and here's the new basketball arena. This is under the auditorium stage, and this used to be strictly the football dressing room, but they've moved all of the weights that Donnie Dietz West Point class donated, and now it's over here along with the football dressing room.
are these candy camera
This is crazy people, and that's Kay.
My hall sweaters.
It's okay, and it doesn't matter. You go. Oh.
Well, I didn't. Thanks for reminding me because I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Stand on the X.
And look at the camera.
Okay. Oh, do you take our name tags off?
Now leave it on. It's okay.
All right.
Now, say your name and where you live.
Okay. I'm Nancy Lee King, and we live in Flower Mound, Texas.
And yep. And just start talking when you're ready.
Hi, I'm June Dodge Stewart, and I'm living in Huntsville, Alabama with my husband, and I have 2 daughters that keep me busy. All right.
I'm Bill Woolley. I live in Little Rock, about 4 blocks from Hall High School. And I spent 10 years teaching at Hall back in the 70s.
That is Jack Fryer. Oh my.
Go.
Hi there, I'm Susan Kelly Shelhorn and I live in Bentonville, Arkansas. Hey, you know.
And W.
There's Harriet.
Ralph Broussard,
Where do you live?
Austin, Texas. Oh, you be back up?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I want you to speak a little bit about him. You what now?
Name and where you live.
Orson-Berry, Little Rock.
That's all.
Actually, I lost an inch.
Well, I have too. I'm working at it, trying to. Yeah, okay. Wait a second. Okay, go.
Vladimir Putin, Little Rock. Or Hall Kreitz, either one.
Wait a minute. Go.
This is John and Margaret Moss, and we live in Tyler, Texas.
And where you live. Name and where you live.
Bill Sutton, this is my wife Lynn, live in Georgetown, Texas.
Blue and Jim Durbin, Alice Springs Estates, California.
Look up, Lynn.
No, wait.
I've already started it.
He's already started.
Do I have my
Your hair is gray. Who cares?
We're the Sims.
Gerald or Jerry Sid and Lynn or Jack Wilson?
And you live where?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Go.
Mary Lou Gazette, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hey, go. I ain't ready. Go.
I'm Margaret Newberry and I live in Georgia, a place called Powersville, Georgia.
That's good. Go ahead.
Hey, Kathy, Rock, Arkansas, near Hall High School. I told you so too. And cheers to Barbara. She's our leader. Tell ya, you ready?
Go.
I'm James Funk, Holly Crown, and this is my husband Chris, and we live in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
And if you don't know Chris, you weren't at Hall High School.
I'm Thompson, Rosemary, California. My wife Kathy.
He's wanted.
He's wanted. Randy Coleman, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Who's that standing beside you?
My wife Jennifer.
Oh, I wondered if you knew her name.
I knew her that.
Go.
Paul Beckton, Baraboo, Arkansas, Greene County.
Go.
Willie Kay, live in Dallas, Texas. This is my wife, Allison. 52 years of marital bliss, all peaks and no valleys.
I'm Charlie Anderson and Kathleen Anderson, and we live in Richard Park,
Will Rock, Richard Lucy.
Kathleen Wesson, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Bruce Weston, Little Rock, Arkansas.
We hang out together for 52 years.
Johnny and Elizabeth Rollins, and Germantown, Tennessee, Silver, Memphis.
Thank you. Where you live?
Mike Moss, Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Kathy Thomas.
Name and where you live?
I live in Little Rock, Marilyn Kellogg, Marilyn Newton Kellogg, and I live here in Little Rock.
Okay. Barbara Penny, Barbara Walker Penny. We live in Pennyville, Arkansas, which is close to Rome.
Little Rock.
Yeah, my wife lives with me.
George, you're right.
Reunion of the 1963 class of Hall High School. Today, we're going to have dinner. The salads are on the tables, and they've asked that you go ahead and eat your salad, and when you finish that at your leisure, go through the buffet line. And we hope that everybody can get through here in 30 to 45 minutes. Come back and please take your seat. We want to try to move people perhaps into this room with their chair after everybody has had their meal. That may not work. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm going to call on Richard Lucy, who will now give our invocation.
Watch the camera.
Pull the mic down. Well, y'all don't need to hear me anyway, but I'm standing here, so you're gonna have to come close to listening to me, so. The invocation is a prayer, but since we're from all different backgrounds, religiously, it's hard to find something that I can say that won't offend someone in the room. I'll try to be very diplomatic. So let's have a prayer that will hopefully fit all of us. I'll try to express our thanks for all of our blessings, and we have many blessings in our lives. We express our gratitude for the way we have been blessed. We are thankful for the fellowship and food that we are about to enjoy. We were blessed to have parents now called the greatest generation. They trained us well. They sent us to the best schools they could find. There we met our spouses and or received our educations that brought us jobs. We've enjoyed the riches of our country and its freedoms. So we again give our thanks, and we hope that the people here may be encouraged by our presence. We hope for strength from this food so that we may pass along to others the blessings that we have filled our lives. Amen. Amen.
All right, continue, and we'll see you in 30 or 45 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi, Bobby. How are you? Nice to see you, buddy. You're looking well.
So are you?
Well, thank you very much.
Springtime.
Huh?
You look so young.
Oh, yeah. It's Allison. That's the reason.
I told her she was too young to be here.
Okay, guys. Here we go. We got about 10 seconds before blast off. We've got about 10 seconds before we're going to blast off here, so for everybody, fasten your seatbelts, because this is going to be quite a ride. On behalf of the reunion committee,
I don't think they can hear you. It's not very loud.
well, it's as loud as it goes. On behalf of the reunion committee, I once again want to welcome everyone to this, the ninth reunion of the class of 1963 of Hall High School. We are celebrating 55, if you can believe it, 55 years since we graduated.
It makes you 20, right, Willie?
Yes, sir. I would like to recognize some people before we get started, and a couple of little mechanical things. First of all, the president of the student body, with Mr. Mike Boo, who is here tonight. Good to see him. I asked him, I said, Mike, do you want to say anything? And he said, no, you do it all yourself. So he left me this job. Can't hear me? How loud can you hear me? How's that? Any better?
Remember, Richard was there.
I'm ready. How's that? Better? Good deal. Okay. First of all, we recognize Mike Boo. Second person I want to recognize, and this is my fault that we've never done this through the years, as the athletes say nowadays, me bad, since I haven't done this. But I wanted to recognize Richard Smith, who was president of the class of 1961. We've never done that. I always want to know, well, is there anybody here who has not been to a reunion? And I think we have a couple of people that I want to recognize. One is Tommy Hodges. He for sure wants to stand up and dance. So, Tommy, stand up so everybody can remember Tommy Hodges. And the second is Michael Christ, who I went through all 12 grades with. I was in his wedding and he was in mine a long, long time ago.
I think you got another one.
Do what?
You got another one that hadn't been here. Charlie's.
A third one. Please stand. She says, oh, Jesus, go. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy this evening. Barbara always gives me the booklet in advance, so I can try to read it and put together some thoughts about the class and hopefully use that as a starting point for the entire evening. She sent this to me, I don't know, by computer not too long ago, and I started reading. I actually had read it twice. And I didn't get too much inspiration, to be honest with you. But I did find, and I want you to find, when you read this booklet, that the 3 long, hard years that Claude Nairn spent as hall monitor finally paid off. Actually, what he did write this year is quite tragic. He sent something in. I would urge you to read it. Over the years, I've picked on Claude, and I shouldn't have. It's something I certainly wasn't trying to be mean. It just came out that way. But anyway, he's something to look forward when you read the booklet. Since I didn't get a hell of a lot of inspiration from what I read, I thought that it would be good if we went back and you relived all these reunions that we've had from things that I remember about them. And perhaps this will rekindle some thoughts that you had when you went through them. The first is the 10-year. Now at the 10-year, we had a band that came, thanks to Danny Garner, who was Vince Vance and the Valiants. They could flat get it. And we all knew every word to every song. It was incredibly loud, but it was wonderful. We had also invited 4 of our teachers. And if you'll recall, Ms. Pat Williams, Mrs. Manise, I believe it was, Coach Keppel, and the principal, Terrell Powell. After that evening, they knew we were certifiably nuts. That was 10. 20-year. Comes along, we have another party, another dinner dance at Pleasant Valley Country Club. And they sent the committee sent a little note around, which was in my file, and I read it and I thought it was incredible. It must have said something about what party animals we really were, because the note said the cash bar will be open until 12:30. clear out, not the country club's closing, but clear out at 1 a.m. Now tonight, I expect that by 10:30, I can roll a bowling ball through here and I won't hit a soul. The 25 year we had at, let me read my writing, Little Rock Hilton. I have it as nothing really significant. The 30 year though, Barbara tells me that is the year that everyone enjoyed so much. Gerald Sin said the same thing to me. He said, that was the year that you took your letter jacket off or put it on and showed us how much, things had changed. Well, that was at the 30 years, so I want you to remember that. Now, at 35, I was unable to come in for the event that was on Friday night, and so I met with Barbara and the committee. I think Marilyn Newton was there the next day when I got to town, and they told me what was going to happen and the whole deal. It was Pleasant Valley Country Club again, dinner dance. And I said, so let me ask you something. What's the program going to be? And they said, you're it. I said, what? Yeah, you're going to be the program. Well, I don't mind getting up here and telling jokes and that kind of thing. So I thought I could handle it fairly well. And they gave me a bunch of statistics about the class, how many people were doctors and lawyers and and on and on and on. But there were a couple of things that they decided to do, and that was to have some contest. Who is the most this, who is the most that? And I do remember that the question was bore, and they would line 4 or 5 guys up in front of the class, and the question was, who has changed the least? Tommy Rowland won hands down. He was still the same Tommy, good-looking man, nice and thin, and just as nice and pleasant as he could possibly be. The other question that I remember was, who was the most successful in our class? Well, Danny Davis had come that year, and he won hands down. Here he was successful in movies. He was successful on stage. He was successful on television. No one really even came close to it. Everybody gives him a rousing applause. Well, there was a story behind the story, because on Friday night he had mentioned to some people who will remain nameless that when he was going to school at Hall, he was dating a young lady who, again, will be anonymous, but her parents didn't like him very much. And it was as though he was raised on the wrong side of the tracks, and he didn't belong to the proper country club. And he said, that really sort of affected me. Now, not to really be angry about that, but he later said, I think I'll buy that damn country club. He might have been able to do it. '40-year Chenal Country Club. Again, nothing really significant that I particularly remember. 45, another one of those pesky dinner dance things. And we had an auction, silent auction, and the idea was to raise money to make a gift to the school, to Hall High School. Well, we rock around to the next reunion, and I talked to Barbara, and I said, well, what happened to all this money that we had this silent auction for that we were going to give to the school? And she said, well, basically, they wouldn't care about that, and they wouldn't take care of it, so we decided we'd spend it. That's what they did. Then comes along the 50, and everybody 5 years ago, I think, had a good time. We had great speakers: Susan Kelly, Diane Garner, Phil McMath. By the way, everybody wanted Phil to do his deal again. I mean, he was really funny. And also Bobby Duffy also spoke and gave a great tribute to Barbara. So that's when we passed out the money to her, and she was looking for a ticket to South America or somewhere. Now, in addition to that, we've had lots of other similar side events. I have a golfing friend who his reunion in Vernon, Texas was tonight. He was president of his class. I asked him, I said,